Belgium, because Belgium is home to this place. Spa, the longest, wildest racetrack on the F1 calendar.
How they made somebody go this far? Okay, let me just slow it down while I explain what's going on here. The electric motor and the big V8 generator are working together so that I have at my disposal 903 brake horsepower. Oh. Obviously, I've driven a Bugatti Veyron that has more than that. But a Bugatti Veyron, it has four-wheel drive and it weighs more than most mountains.
This is rear-wheel drive, and the only significant weight comes from the air passing over the body.
Right, oh ruse. Flat in a Formula One car, not flat in this. Oh, they should have called this the Widowmaker.
The throttle is a hyperspace button. Step on it, and you're gone. And yet somehow, even in this appalling weather, it got round all of the corners without crashing once. So how? Well, that's partly because it's made of stuff from the future. And partly because it's clever. It adapts. It moves around to suit its environment.
As the speed climbs, the rear wing rises to generate more downforce. But as you go past 156 miles an hour, it starts to go back down a little bit. Otherwise, the weight of the air passing over it would be so enormous, it would break the suspension. Then you have the exhaust, which works with the rear diffuser to generate an area of low pressure into which the back of the car is sucked. The wheels are made from military-grade aluminium, the brake discs from a material that's only ever been used in the Ariane space program, and they're coated with something called silicon carbide. Apparently it's the hardest substance known to man, apart from dried Weetabix, obviously. And then the whole thing sits on 4 tyres that were designed and made by Pirelli.
All of this means you really have the confidence to open it up.
This thing goes from 0 to 160 miles an hour, faster than a Golf goes from 0 to 60. 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190. Bloody hell, fire!
And as you hurtle round in a puddle of your own feces, gurning like an infant, the car is working on ways of going even faster.
Let me give you an example. The electric motor is used to fill in the little gaps when the petrol engine isn't working at its best, like, for example, during gear changes or while the massive turbos are spooling up. And what I find hysterical about that is that McLaren has taken this hybrid technology, which is designed to reduce the impact of the internal combustion engine, and is using it to increase the impact. That's like weaponizing a wind farm, or buying the Rainbow Warrior and turning it into an oil tanker.
Okay, we have 6-wheel drive with a power split 30-40-30 across the axles. Check. Stronger front springs from the armoured version of the G-Class. Check. Locking diffs. Oh, we've got those. The most you'd expect normally would be 3. On here, 5 when you lock them using these buttons in different ways. Right, let's go. These are big, big dunes. This is more of a sand mountain I'm on right now. 3 3/4 tons of Mercedes is doing this. It just doesn't feel right. This extra axle, these 2 extra wheels, it changes the way the 6x6 travels over the ground. It undulates, it feels supple. It's like blasting through the desert dunes, riding a sinew. Come on. Oh, I'm in. I got some air. Sorry, everybody.
Front-wheel drive Golf is clinging on jolly well, but frankly it's pointless. I can overtake any time I like. I have the power. And I have an 8-speed gearbox compared to his paltry 6. Yes, the Prussian aristocrat is trampling all over the lumpen people's car. Here we go. Power! Come on! And there we are, in front.
The BMW then really is very fast.
What's more, because this is the first hot hatchback for 30 years to have rear-wheel drive, you can do this.
So far then, the BMW is running rings round the Golf. But I then line them up for a simple straight-line drag race. And there was a problem. A big one.
3, 2, 1.
Good noise. With this in reverse.
At this point, I was feeling confident. But as I hit 120 miles an hour...
This really is a... Oh, yeah, you see, the Golf won that because this, well, it lost control. That's what happened there. Ooh.
The Abu Dhabi circuit is also famed for having a 1.2 kilometre straight, one of the longest anywhere. Seems like a good place to start. Let's make some noise. Oh, that is breathtaking! Oh, 9,000 RPM! Boom! Yeah! Big speed! 280! Braking! Oh, that is acceleration unlike anything else. I know Jeremy's head was blown off by the speed of that P1, but I absolutely cannot believe it felt any faster than this. It can't have done. Like the McLaren, the 918 has a joint strike force of petrol engine and electric motors working together. It's that electric power that gives it so much punch off the line. I have 500 foot-pound of torque at 800 RPM. 800! A 458 doesn't have 500 torques at any RPM. It just wakes up. It's like a sprinter falling out of bed and going straight into a world record, while all the others are still eating cornflakes and thinking about having a poo.
The petrol engine, which sounds ungodly through those top-mounted exhausts, is a 612 horsepower, 4.6 litre V8.
On the topic of power and performance, the 918 and the P1 can trade punches all day long. The 918 can't match the P1's top speed, 218 compared to 211.
But I get to 60 quicker, 2.6 seconds to his sluggish 2.8.
I've got 875 brake horsepower, the P1 has 903, but I've got more torque. And on and on and on it goes. It's King Kong versus Godzilla.